So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our third session for DE Group 5, 2023 first semester. It is critical thinking, and we are hoping to start our unit 3 after we have mopped up the unit 2 that we discussed. So you see that the title of the slide says lecture 2, but it contains topics on definitions. Look on my screen now respectfully. It incorporates questions, topics on definitions, verbal disputes, and substantive disagreement. And we hope to do well. Those who say you just came in, my name is Dr. Nancy Miles BJMP. I put the message there because the Bafor JMP is my husband's name that I have been, someone said I have been saddled with, the Yaswami, but my maiden name is Nancy Miles. So I put the message so that just in case you see Nancy Miles somewhere, it's me. But if you see the Miles JMP, there is me, with a prefix that by the grace of God I have earned a doctorate. And I'm a senior lecturer of the Department of Philosophy and Classics, School of Arts in the College of Humanities at the University of Ghana, where we have proudly welcomed you. That email down there works. That is the official email for the course, because currently, of course, I coordinate it now. Okay, and for me to know that the information or the question or the query is a UGRC150 query, that email is created that way, so that as soon as I go into that email, I'm responding, I know the locus of that question. Okay, so use it, it will help you. The one in the site or on Sakai, which often sends you messages, is the system, the one in the system, the University of Ghana email, okay, which every one of us have. So if you use it, sometimes it's helpful, especially when we have to follow up on something else for you. When I enter it and I key in your ID, you see that whatever conversation I've had with you pulls up. If you put it in my UG, then UG takes care of every other thing I'm doing. I teach thousands of other students that are not UGRC, thousands of them. Okay, so it might be difficult to trace you sometimes, and things just delay, but we'll work hand in hand, whichever one you find more comfortable. So welcome, and then, like I said, engage the unit 1, which took us to types of definitions. That's how we ended unit 1, types of definition. I said there's a recording there. So you see that when you go to the recording, the slides that are also at resource 2, by the time you get to the end of unit 1, down there, you see that we talked about declaratives, the 3 types, factual statement, value judgment, then definitions. And then we told you what definitions are. Every definition is a linguistic expression that gives you the meaning of an unknown word, gives you the meaning. So definitions give meaning. Remember my example, I said there are 3 statements or 3 declaratives I'm going to give you. You see that one is definition, one is factual. A bachelor is an unmarried adult male. The second one, a bachelor is sitting under the tree. The third one, a bachelor has a good conscience. And you will see that in all 3 instances, we have used the word bachelor. We have made a statement out of bachelor, but first one says a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. The second one said a bachelor is sitting under the tree. And the third one says a bachelor has a good conscience. You will see that in the first instance, the bachelor is an unmarried adult male. We are giving you the meaning of the word bachelor. We are trying to tell you what it means to call something or an ex-what, a bachelor. If you know that, then you can now use it in the second instance where we say a bachelor is sitting under the tree. You have to know what a bachelor means to be able to understand the factual statement 2, which says what a bachelor is sitting under the tree. So definitions have 2 parts. The word that is unknown and the part of the expression that is what? Known. So that in this instance, the word a bachelor is what we don't know. And an unmarried adult male is what we know. So we use what we know to get to what we don't know. We said all that. Now the word that is not known is what we call the definiendum. All that is unit 1, to mop up a little, and then take us to unit 2, which we have done partially. I will walk through them patiently. So the 2 parts are definiendum and definiens. Every definition has 2 parts, definiendum and definiens, married together with a copula called what? Is. So a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. The is the copula. A bachelor, the unknown word is the definiendum. And then an unmarried adult male is what? The definiend. So at least by the end of Unit 1, everyone would have known the two parts of a definition. Now here on this slide, which is slide number 2 for the lecture 2, we are going to remind ourselves, even if we didn't know. You can't say you didn't know, because the way distance teaching is supposed to go is a tutorial. That is why, well, I don't want to speak anything administrative. You see that something is a tutorial. So you come with knowledge already. We engage it like it's tutorial, it's interaction. So you tell me, I looked at slide number 14. What you put there, I didn't understand this one, because if I compare it to the first one, it says, so that's then the lecturer or the instructor or the tutor, whoever is there, just helps you understand. It's not a full lecture, it shouldn't be a lecture. Otherwise, you will struggle, because we can't, if you have to go through all the slides one after the other. Some of us, that's what we do. We've been doing it over more than a decade and almost a decade and a half or so. So it is something we do, we teach. So we are glad to do it. But you won't benefit if you don't go ahead. That's why the slides are all there. All of them are there in your resource too. For you to do your studying, and then this would have been interaction. So you say, okay, Doc, I saw the connotation and denotation, but I don't know how it is that it generates equivocation. I see that you put something like that in the slide. Then we go to that. And someone else will say, open textured, is it the same as how we interpret value judgment? Because I see that there to one term can have more than one meaning. Can you throw some light on? Okay, yes, there's an extent to which they meet, but if blah, 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 blah. That's how it would have gone. But I tell you, if you ask someone what is connotation right now, to be a problem. Meanwhile, it's ditto, in the slides. Okay, and the university says, pass the English before you come. Pass the commas before you come, because we use English as the mode of what? Communication. So if you don't know the English, you can read the denotation is this, or connotation is this, then you won't be able to grab the content. And I presume that so far as you have admission and you're here, there's an extent to which, at least in your own small way, you can read something. So read it. Conclusion. I said plenty. The conclusion is study the slides. If there are reading references in your other courses, study them before the class. So when you come, it is just tutorial. But I'm saying that even if we didn't do the topic here, connotation, denotation, last week, you are supposed to have engaged the slides before coming. So whatever I'm doing with you, I'll take it to be a reminder or a prompt, emphasis here and there. On your screen, you see that apart from parts of definitions, definitions also have aspects. Aspects, the way of looking at definitions, aspects. The connotation of a definition or of the connotation of a word and the denotation of a word. So in other words, when you have a definition, that definition is connoting something and at the same time denoting something. Now, what does this big bro mean? What it connotes, connotation of a word, just means what the word means. So when you define, the word means something. On our screen, if I may have someone read for us. If you raise your hand to read, I'm glad to call you. Read for us what is on our screen now. So I saw Deborah, but hold on for a minute, Deb. Let me get someone else. Okay, I've spoken already. It didn't come out well. Do I take her? Yeah. You are quite A. You see, I've forgotten everyone is muted. That's why the class is quiet like that. Yeah. The microphones are actually disabled, not just muted. Because if you mute, the people on mute. Okay, let me take Joel Quarty. Joel, if you are there, you are able to unmute now.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Understanding connotation.
Yeah.
Look at the different connotations of the word chair.
Yes.
Chair is a furniture we sit on.
Yes, sir.
Chair is the head of an institution.
Yes, please.
Chair is the person who steers the affairs of a meeting.
Well done and well read. So 3 ways of thinking of the meaning of the word chair. You are welcome, sir. 3 ways of thinking of the meaning of the word chair. When we hear chair, it could be the furniture we sit on. It could be the person steering the affairs of a meeting. And it could be the head of an institution. If I'm having a word in my reception and I take someone to be the chair of the reception, he's not a head of an institution. There's no institution anywhere. Like the electoral commission is an institution and it has a chair. Or the council of heads of state or something. You see? So when we hear the word chair, it could mean, at least from our slides, we can have at least 3 meanings. It may even be more.
Madam, please, my screen is off. I can't see the screen.
Please, can anyone, but the gentleman read the screen, oh, my lady. Can anyone see understanding connotation, please? I want a chorus answer. You can unmute and answer.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That is not to say that we want.
Yes, please.
Disable mic. I've disabled everyone. You know, in the past, I didn't like doing this at all. But please bear with me. My sister, that doesn't mean we'll help you. Just touch your screen. Just touch it a little. And if question will come. Hey, who has been able to sweep my thing like that? It is because you haven't touched it for a while. That's the only reason. Okay. Yes. So if you touch it again, it will come. And we are recording it. When we bring you the recording, you'll see that it's there. All right. So don't get yourself worked up. Just fidget with your screen a little. So come. Right. I was saying that. So there are different meanings for the word chair. A chair can mean the furniture we sit on. It can also mean the one who heads an institution. And at the same time, it can say it is the one who steers the affairs of a meeting. It can take someone to chair an event. And after the event, it's no longer a chair. It's not a head of an institution for that matter. Okay, so all the 3 of them that you see on your screen are different connotations. Different connotations. What the word connotes, that simply means what the word means. Now, if this is clear to you, then how do we understand denotation? Denotation is simply the particular examples of the word that has been given a specific meaning, a specific connotation. Look on your screen. If I say a chair, get me a chair, and you ask me, oh, doc, or get me, when you're coming, come with some chairs. Depending on the context, if we were speaking about tables and chairs and furniture, then there is no need asking which sense of the word chair are you referring to. And maybe we went for a conference and you are returning to Ghana. So we take there. Then we may want to meet some of the chairs and then we can decide on what to do. You see that? You don't meet tables and chairs as in furniture. So here, the chair here may be different. Maybe people are complaining that when this institution, when you give them position, they don't allow the person to work. I think that we should meet some of those who chair the institutions in that nation and interview them. Here, the chair that they say we want to meet some of the chairs, it's not we want to meet a furniture. So suppose we said a chair is a furniture we sit on, and we want a denotation of that. Remember, what we have now is the connotation, the meaning, the definition, what it stands for. So a chair is a furniture we sit on. I've given you one of the connotations of the word chair. Now, based on that, if I ask for denotations of chair as defined in one, what? This one, as a furniture we sit on. If I want for a denotation of that, you point to particular examples of chairs. So I'm sitting on a chair in my office here. This is a chair, a particular example. You are also perhaps sitting on a chair. The chair at the dining hall is one. The one at the library is one. They are all chairs, so far as we sit on them. The particular ones we are pointing to now are the denotations. So you can count and touch the denotations in some instances, okay? They are the examples. So when we say what it denotes, what the definition denotes, it is the particular example that the connotation leads you to. So if we define chair as a furniture we sit on, then its denotation will be, this is my chair I'm sitting on, that's one. Your chair that you are sitting on, that's another. A chair at the car, throttle station is a chair, and so on and so forth. Those ones I'm pointing to are the what? The denotation. But if I should define chair differently, in other words, if the connotation should change from chair is a furniture we sit on to chair is the head of an institution, Then this new connotation will mean that if you ask me for denotations, I would have to use head of an institution. So examples will be the EC chair of Ghana, a human being will come. Chair of the Council of State will come, he's a human being. Chair of the Ghana Pentecostal Council will come. Chair of Catholic Bishops Conference, human beings will come. Not physical chairs that we sit on. They won't be the denotation. Now the denotation will be human beings. Now look at the example you worked with earlier. A bachelor is an unmarried adult. That's one of the connotations of the word bachelor. Bachelor could mean some other thing. It is the degree you earn when you enter the university at the first instance. So if I say I'm doing my bachelor's, it doesn't mean I'm doing my unmarried man, adult me. No, that's another connotation. And I think it's clear now. And so if I ask you to bring in some bachelors, I could be asking you to bring in some unmarried adult males. So you bring physical young brothers, perhaps, or old but not married. They will come and you count them, Kofi, Kwame, Kojo. You are bringing in bachelors. If you define bachelor as unmarried adult male, I think I could also say bring in the bachelors, and I will be asking for degrees that are earned in the university. So you may bring in certificates if you like. A con certificate, philosophy certificate, and so on. Or the same bachelors. If I say, bring me some bachelors, the fashion designer may be asking for bachelor's buttons. They are bachelors. So that apprentice or someone will bring in buttons. The same word, though, depending on the connotation you have given to it, the meaning you are using of that word. You see how much time I'm spending, because that thing is important to help you detect ambiguity, to help you detect vagueness and equivocation, etc., which we'll do in Unit 3. You have to understand that one word could have several meanings, which means depending on the meaning of the word that is at play, its particular examples will also change. So based on the connotation, the denotation will also change. In other words, denotation is defined by what? A connotation. An even number is any number that is divisible by 2 equally without a remainder. That is a connotation of even number I've given you. If I ask you for the denotation of that, I am sure a good number of you can do that, even though a few of us may have forgotten. So I just unmuted your microphones, and I want you to give me some denotations of even number as I have defined it.
6,
2,
8,
2,
10,
12,
20.
Emilia said 13.
No, I said
I'm joking, don't mind me.
Madam 10.
Don't mind me.
200,
Don't mind me.
220, 26.
Very good. Very good. So that is the point. So that is the point I was making with what? Connotation
28.
and denotation. 28.
Madam, please, we can't hear anything. No.
Oh, Jai. Don't say we can't hear. I don't like it when people say we can. Yeah, bre. Who do you say bre?
Madam, they are making noise.
24.
All right, I did that so that you can be a part. You see, the participation helps for learning. It brings your attention. So at least you remember that you even gave examples. You remember that you even gave examples of the denotation of even number. If we defined even number as any number that is divisible by 2. Now, that is the first key thing we are adding on topic 2. We are adding to the parts of a definition. The parts we said definiendum, definiens. We just learned the aspects of a definition. A definition has connotation and denotation, and that's what we have just done. Now we will continue with some problem that can arise if someone doesn't apply the appropriate meaning of the word. Look on my screen now. So I'll take my fine gentleman again who is reading for me. I think it was Joel. So Joel will do the reading for me again. Where is Joel? Joel. Oh dear. People will not disturb. Everybody's mic will be there. He will just unmute by himself and we are good to go. But I'm finding Joel, patient. Okay, then let me take someone else. If your background is fine, then you could read for us. And let's go for I want you to read for us, okay? Please, I'll unmute your mic. Please go ahead, sir. You can unmute now.
Pause and think.
Thank you.
The legislature agreed to table the motion for another day. The rows and columns in the table are too complex. Your breakfast is already on the table. Notice
Very good.
the
Thank you
different
so much.
connotation. Oh, okay.
Yeah. People can read well. I'm in the spirit. I'm able to choose people who can read well. Thank you very much. Now, the point is, in all three statements, there is the use of the word table. Table is used in all the three instances. But whenever it is used, it has a different meaning. It has a different meaning. So the point is for you to know that the mere fact that you heard someone say table doesn't mean he's referring to a furniture. So you have to be smart. You see that we are using very simple words, chair, table. When we start talking freedom, well, a friend say, freedom, what's the other thing? Law, you are breaking the law and stuff like that. You see that it is important that you are able to detect equivocation, where people are. So what is this big word? We'll come back to it in the future, but it's a good time to introduce it. If more than one connotation of a word is used in the same context, as if they mean the same thing, that's very important. You should put it there. As if they mean the same thing without any signal of the shift. Now, the next line we are reading is not necessarily the case. With the intention to manipulate or to persuade. Sometimes there is no intention to manipulate or persuade. But you have shifted from one of the meanings of the word to another, one of the connotations of that word to the other. And you are making it seem as if the two senses of the word are all the same. Okay? I'll give you examples to show in due course, but get it. My colleague gave an example. I've used it the whole of this week. I think I have it in some of my slides. He said, the lady goes for an interview and they tell her, in this job, we are looking for the person who is responsible to give the job to. The pobia, they need a hope. Now, only masudie, someone who is responsible to do the job. And say, oh, I think then I'm the one you are looking for. Because the company I came from, whenever anything got missing, I was responsible for it. Oh, Brady. This is another one going. Did you hear what happened? Because the company I am coming from, whenever something got missing, I was responsible. So if you are looking for a responsible person, then I'm the one. That's, you see, the word she's using is responsible. The company is looking for a responsible person, but she has shifted the meaning of the word responsible that is expected of the company. And she thinks she's making herself look like employable, but she just lost the job. Yes, different meanings of the word responsible, but the word is the same. That is equivocation. That's what is happening with our slide on the screen there. But because we are not doing equivocation now, I won't let you bother. Maybe I'll just read it and then you keep it in mind. I just brought it here for you to see the essence of knowing the different connotations of a word. Know that when the person has shifted, then you can accuse or him of being equivocal. If you apply it in, say, rap, those who do rap, you know, the same word, you say, oh, you're a free man, or free. You know, he's saying he's a free man, yet he likes freeing things. You see, so it makes it intriguing. You love to hear people like that, the rappers. Then it is a good use of the equivocation to create, you know, a literary whatever that is interesting, and we will pay so much to go and sit and listen to such. Okay, but where you are applying that kind of, you are shifting from one of the meanings to the other and pretending as if it's the same thing at the law court or in an international relation, or when you're going to sign documents, marriage document, you know, property document, you are a lawyer, you're going with the person. And make sure that there is no equivocation. Otherwise, people will dupe your client and you mess the client badly. He should have gone himself than go with you as a lawyer to study it and all that. Okay. So what is equivocation? If you know it now, then when we get you in a 3, you are the better off. Now that it is fresh in your mind, you know that words have different connotations. And based on the connotation, what is it is denoting will also change. Then now you should know what equivocation is. Shifting from one of the connotations of the word to another, as if they mean the same, without a signal. Sometimes you could say, oh, Ghana is a free country, but we cannot do things freely. By free, I mean so and so and so. That's not equivocation. You clarify what the shift is. But now look at our example on the screen and say, please, if you would respectfully read it for me, I'd be grateful. Please read for me an example. Who was reading for? I've forgotten the name. My friend who read for me. Thank you very much. Go ahead, sir. Oh, please, are you there? Thank you.
Yes,
Go ahead.
please. Detecting equivocation.
Yes.
If more than one connotation of a word is used in the same context without any signal of the shift with the intention to manipulate or to persuade, the speaker is accused of committing equivocation.
Very good. So we use them as if they be the same, but they don't. And I'm saying that sometimes it is not even with the intention to manipulate or to persuade. Sometimes you didn't intend to manipulate anyone. You didn't intend to persuade anyone, but you are doing it. So it will still be equivocation. So please read the example.
Example, I don't see why women are always complaining that they do not enjoy the same freedom as men do. It's a free country. So what's the problem? Everybody in Ghana here is free to do what they like.
So please, we are done. I'm laughing. I've forgotten where we are. Who can speak like? People speak that way. Yes, thank you, sir. People speak that way. When they have jammed the traffic and the police catch you, they say, this is a free country. Let us be free. I say, it's a free country, so you want to talk anything and go. You can't talk anything and go. What if it's a free country? So excuse me, God forbid, but the prisoner, when he wakes up, they say, look, excuse me, please, today I'll eat kotoje nkwai. Kotoje nkwai with kotoje. Because it's a free country. So you can enter my room, my bedroom, and roll on my bed, and then look for my best jewelry and wear. No.
Why?
So there is a sense in which Ghana is a free country, yes, but there are limits. So the free here doesn't mean you can get up at dawn and enter into places that they say no cameras allowed. Maybe diplomatic areas in Ghana here. Then you say, but it's not a free country. Free country, so you are snapping pictures. There is free as in you can wake up and go about your duties within the limits. Oh dear. Please keep quiet, eh? Hey, otherwise you will get me. You are going to write exam. I can't mute you like that. Are you babies? I don't want to do that to you. Okay. I'm coming. I'll just mute all, but I'll not disable the mic. So you keep it muted, eh? So that you can hear me. I want you to hear me. Yeah. Now I'm saying that. So the fact that it is a free country doesn't mean free as a free. You see, apply the same concept to free education. Apply the same. It's a free. I mean, my husband is free, but my husband is very free. Doesn't mean when you see the lady's husband, put your hand in his pocket and pull money out because he's free. You have to you see the sense in which she's speaking. There is a certain connotation of freedom. Oh, please, welcome. This is maybe the chief of staff or some United Nations Secretary General that was your classmate when you were in SHS. So you meet him and you are so proud of him. And he says, oh, come in. And this is his office. Just come in. Feel free. Sit down. No, people have taken the free field to mean that he can enter into the man's drawer and say, document. Hey, so these are the documents you discuss. Hey, then he's opening them. Is that what the free that he told you means? That's the thing we are dealing with. Okay, so different connotations of the word free at play here. Freedom, he said that I don't see why women are always complaining that they do not enjoy the same freedom as men do. Do they? It is not a place for women to, sometimes some women to make it a bit annoying, almost to the point of making the woman look less, what's the expression? Making the woman look inferior by the argumentation. So sometimes I don't like the gendered, claims that are made. But you cannot deny, even naturally, that there are certain freedoms women don't enjoy. In the same way that there are certain freedoms women have that men don't have. So it is not an issue to be contended with. I mean, two people get busy. Those who are playing my videos on YouTube, when you go to my YouTube channel, my academic channel, you see that I'm saying the same thing there in that video for the other course. I use this, so it's a repeated example. The point I'm making is the same thing I'm saying again here. Two people go into the room, two mature people married, they've done all that has to be done. Everybody's waiting for babies. They get busy. When baby comes, it is inside one person's tummy for not a day or two, 9 months, if you get the recalcitrant baby type. 10 months, 11 months, they are still there, they are not coming out. Then woman can eat something. The man is doing everything. I tell you, even the fact that some ladies go to that time of the month can stop some people from going to school. Because the first day it came, she messed up. People laughed at her at school. She didn't know. Adolescent. After that, school is not sweet again. But that thing can never happen to a male because he doesn't do that naturally. I'm not going to social systems or culture, whatever. So the person, I can go on and on and on. The mood of a teacher, a female teacher, her mood swings when she's getting to that time of the month. Just the mood she's in can make her whip somebody's daughter for her to be arrested. The human mood. People don't know. We all get pregnant. We have all applied for a job, competitive banking, job, international corporation. You get the job, the lady, 3 months time, you are pregnant. This is a high-profile job, coming with a whole package. Can you go and sit in the office, they're spitting here and there? You need maternity. Even if you manage with a pregnancy the whole period, now it's time to deliver. When you deliver to that day, the next day they are going to office. It's not possible. The man can drink overdose and booze. The next day you just do hangover medicine. You sit in the office. Woman can't do that. So you see, when the person is in the bed, I'm on that screen. Look at it. To rubbish what the woman said and say that you are always complaining. Either the person is daft, he is overly sure of himself or herself. This can come from a woman. Or he doesn't even know that he or she is using a different meaning of the word freedom. So the first one, you can't complain about it. I've used this naturally. I didn't go into cultural system because cultures are different. There are certain people, when they are in a meeting and a woman speaks, when they are men and a woman speaks, he feels that you to keep quiet. Just that he doesn't say it. It is in his psyche. He doesn't even know that he's thinking that. That means, men are speaking, you woman, you want to talk, go and get us a drink and come and say, add biscuits, and then let's discuss. But it just doesn't come out that way because of how he or she was brought up. But it's not the same for every system. So we don't want to even go into cultures and, social structures and religious beliefs and whatever. Okay, just let's stick to the natural. That one is not in contention. Naturally, God didn't give birth to some. I said God didn't give birth. Some were brought into this world having to see a certain color every month, whether they like it or yes. So after you've studied your calculus or whatever it is, that deductive logic, your axiomatization, your predicate logic, and you are ready to go and write, then that thing decides to come that day. All your frame sitting behind the friend there, there's is basa. When you see square root, you think it is a long division. When they say stand up, you thought they say stop work. You see, you just want, and you know that annoying part, it will end in some few days, sometime after a day or two, it's gone. No issue about buying diaper, etc. So understand and don't confuse. There we go. I'm shifting now to the next sense of freedom. Don't confuse this sense of freedom I have tried to defend. The person says, you are always complaining about that. Yes. And men too don't enjoy the same freedoms that women do. If you're a man at a certain age, if you are still living with your mother or father, it's funny. You have to hold your face hard, at least in Africa. When the thing is pain, you can't cry. Women will feel free and cry, even though sometimes they are at fault. Oh, and everybody will feel for the woman. When there's load to carry, woman is standing there, say, "Man, bro, that one the man should come." When there's load to carry, okay, plenty women will be. If we were to see a snake, God forbid, in some room elsewhere, who go and call woman? They'll look for man. So the point is, there are certain freedoms that women too we have. We will say that doing our nails, those who do nails, when there's the electricity pole is slanting, they'll say, "Hey, bra, please, bra." And the bras are not all kinds of. That one day, man should go and do you know, if there's a food and we are all in a hurry to get food, and there are brothers in the case, sisters come. You see that the brothers, especially those who are groomed well, some they don't care where hungry. But you know, some will say, "Oh, madam, oh sister, please." You know, so we have certain privileges too. That is the balance that should come when we are discussing the gender issues. So when you are doing gender somewhere, don't be myopic in your view. Be holistic, because there are privileges and there are burdens. But the point we are making here is the person speaking wants to say, I'll ask, so you see how much time I've spent here? You will do written so that you can express yourself. It's critical thinking and practical reasoning. We don't want you to go and write you and pass and forget. What crime can you commit when you shift meaning? Oh, A, equivocation, B, this. Some of them will be like that. But the substantive exams will seek your mind. We want to get your mind so that when you are solving problems in everyday life, you can do. So the first part is not contentious. So we don't know why the person is saying that. But what we are looking out for is to look at the second one. From the first expression, I don't know why women are always complaining that they do not enjoy the same freedom as men do. Look at the next statement. It is a free country. This sense of free is different from the first one, but the person is assuming that they are all the same. Ghana is a free country, yes. But it doesn't mean because Ghana is a free country, women are able to freely do everything as men do. I've just given you instances. You can turn it upside down. The same thing, men too are not freely able to do what the men do. If you like, there should be a problem. The room is hot. A man can remove his shirt right now. Remove it. Whether there is hair or not, he will remove it at the lecture. If it is extreme heat, let the sisters to remove whether the lecture can continue. You see, especially sisters that are heavily endowed, front and back. We are all removing. Let's remove. Whether there will be chaos. Can we do that at the beach? Even the beach. The brothers wear their skimpy something. Skimpy things. You don't even notice that something is wrong. Let the sister come and do the same thing and pass. You see that? So, nobody, bra. In fact, I don't like that. I'm just coming from church, actually. People shouldn't, we shouldn't deceive ourselves. There are differences. Now the person is saying because it's a free country. It's Ghana is a free country. You can freely do things. Then look at the third one, which is the one that annoys me the most. She says, everybody in Ghana here is free to do what they like. So we are Vimpa, come and slap me in my office. Let me see.
It's not true.
It's not true. You see, so the free in the third is, can the prisoners wake up in the morning and say, please open the door, we want to go and jog at free Flagstaff House, take us the because
Impossible.
Ghana is a free country. Who told you? We want to vote somewhere, put that thing, we are voting. It's not done. So that we can freely give and freely receive. You see how many senses of the word free I'm using? Free Turkey, you see it subsequently. Yes, free Turkey. If you go and see free Turkey written on the wall, it's a person telling you that advocating for freedom for the nation called Turkey. Or he's telling you that come, there's Turkey for free of charge. Come and eat some. After all, you pass your obey. come and eat. Or set the turkey that is in the hen cook there free. Just tired. You see, it so the free there, it can be so many connotations. The ability, I'm summing up on that, the ability to detect that someone speaking is using the same word, but it looks like he has shifted from the previous meaning of that same word, the connotation, to another one, and is carrying on with the argumentation as if he's saying the same thing, is what we call equivocation. We'll see another one with law, the use of law when we get there. These people are breaking the law, and you don't know which law they are referring to. And they shift from that and talk to another law and say, God doesn't like that. Eh? These people are breaking the law. No, we don't do that here. It's against our moral code. God will punish them. What I just said, I used 4 different meanings of the word law, 4 different connotations. You will see it in Unit 5. So the person will argue and it will look like he or she has made a very good case. What these people are doing is against our moral code. We don't do that here in Ghana. I don't know why they chose to do this here. God will punish them, or it's against God's law. God will punish. That's about 3 connotations. Statutory laws are not moral codes. And neither are they, what's the other one? Civil laws. And civil laws are not criminal laws. The lawyers or those who aspire to be lawyers can bear us out. Yeah? And if you don't pay tithe, no policeman will come and say, hello, hey, stop, where's your tithe? No. You are breaking perhaps a law, but not a law that the state has made. And even the state's laws, there are those that are criminal, treasonable, and those that are civil. If you go and fight over Atapaku, you 2 sisters go and fight over Atapaku and scratch your face. And you go and scratch your faces, and one gets something on the cheek, another on the arm, and you take it to court. It's a civil case, so civilians. They will tell you, go and buy a probe, you too, buy whatever, go home, bye-bye, case that, after it is resolved. But if you go and rape your own daughter, listen to me, your own daughter, I'm showing you connotation, so that when you get to Unit 6, Unit 5, and the laws, and even I'm not here, a tutor takes over, you still have an idea of what I'm putting across to help you understand it. Your own daughter, but if you rear chicken, don't get my drift, so don't go doing it. I'm going to make a point. You should be able to eat chicken that you have reared, taking care of them from the time that they hatched, yes, till the day that they became chicken. You should be able to eat one, your own child. You rape the child, or you enjoy the child. When you go to court, they won't say you versus the child. They will say the state versus Atakwa. No, this time it's not Atakwa. The state versus Eja Foko. Because it is no longer you and someone. It's not a civilian matter. Okay? It's criminal. Then if you go and open your mouth, and you're here, I'm included. We go and open our mouth. Respectfully, I want you to just enjoy yourself. So no disrespect intended. But we go and open our mouth, jaga, and say things that are treasonable. We will not sleep in our home that day. They will come for us. Because certain laws are criminal in when you break them, you have broken a criminal law. Some too, they are civil law. Some are what? Moral code. Moral codes there. Morality. I can decide to some people come to lecture hall in their bathing suit, bikini. You don't know how to describe it. Did you come from home? You'll be shocked when you walk to the car and the person is going to the car to see their mother. Their mother is worse than the person sometimes. Telling you that if you want to wear gown for your lecture hall, she wants to wear what she has worn. The point then is it's a matter of morality there, heading to impose it. So the person was speaking that way, mixed morality with a criminal code with moral, what's the other one? Civil code. With, you can even go to customary laws. Look at that topic. The slides are there. You see customary laws. They are all different. Certain customs, you go and take somebody's daughter and enjoy without paying the bride price. When a bang boom, you will marry the corpse. It is customary. So it's a way of what regulating. We'll do that when we do the normative versus the empirical in Unit 5. I may not be the one to take, maybe the tutor will come. But then if I come and I'm doing the mop-up for the sessions that they come to do, I will touch on them. So read ahead and know. That plays to what I picked for the topic on your screen is to show you that you can have different connotations of the word law, which sometimes is mixed up in the argumentation. So a smart lawyer or a judge who can see through equivocation can sometimes he or she is not impressed by the argument. And the general public or some people who are untutored in the topic or the discussion will say that, oh, you are taking bribe. But you can't mix your religious beliefs in a statutory matter or a customary or a criminal and so on and so forth. So you have to, if the debate is on this, you clarify. But don't say what these people are doing there, it's against the laws of Ghana. They tell you where is everything, show us. So, but God doesn't like that. Hey, God told some people that they should come and bring all their properties into the building they called church. Now the people are hungry. I'm a church person, but that can't be correct. So you can't come and tell us God said, and then you say it's Ghana law. And when we are looking into the book and we can't see it, then you say it's our area, we don't like this, where we come from, tradition and plenty with their traditional laws, customary codes, like when the Ghana traditional area, they do their traditional stuff. They will tell you don't play drum. Don't say that it's against the law. Freedom of movement. Go and move it. Go and move. Whether you move, you move and reach where you are reaching. There's freedom of movement, yes. Freedom of worship, yes. That is statutory. But you should also recognize that there are what? Customary. So look into the textbook. You see all of them, the civil, mathematical laws. They are there. When you get there, I don't know why the Holy Spirit has led me to Unit 5 for your benefit. Okay? All right. So I use that to show you equivocation, and I think that you got it now. Now, so more examples of them. And then we went to types of definitions. Let me ask the class, did we go through types? If we did, I'll just quickly walk over it and we go. Can someone confirm if we went through types of definitions like last week? I'm sure we would.
No.
We did
No.
it.
No.
We did. I didn't do
Yes, we did.
Hey,
You didn't do.
hey,
No, please, we didn't do.
If we didn't do it, please, one at a time, please.
So we can now go to the types of definitions. Okay. I said plan to do an applied. An applied. Try to apply everything we are discussing when you write a response for me. The likelihood of asking you lexical or tense operational is less. It's less likely that I will ask you which of the following is a type of definition. That is SHS kind of work, okay? But we can ask you to apply. So I want you to get the concept so that the application will be easier for you. And then it will mean that you can solve problems when you get out there. Okay, so types of definitions, it simply means ways of making meaning. That's all. How you make something meaningful to those who don't understand it. You can do so by giving them what? Dictionary meaning. So if I ask for a word, a definition, a certain word I have no meaning for, and you tell me, look it up in the dictionary, and I look into the dictionary and I get a meaning of it, then that is lexical definition. That's all. From the word lexicon. So you gave me a lexical definition. If you said I should look into the dictionary to find the meaning, how that word is used. Okay. But sometimes I will not let you look it up in the dictionary. I will point to it. So if you ask me what is fufu? What is fufu? There's a little brony that you come to Ghana, my expatriate friend. Then he tells you, what is the food called fufu? You can just point to fufu on the menu there and show you that is fufu. By the pointing to, I gave you ostensive definition. It's meaning I've given you. If the child asks you, Mommy, Auntie says I'll come home, we should ask you, what is color yellow? Don't say color yellow is a color. He knows it is color. When she says, what is color yellow? Which graph are you going to use to define yellow? Pick a yellow cup and say, see, this is yellow. What you have done is ostensive definition. The only problem is your child will go out thinking that it is only mommy's cup that is yellow. But that is fine for starters. She will get accustomed to it, and then by association with time, she will develop knowledge. So you teach, especially those who do not know something, or you want them to grab it easily. It helps to use ostensiation, ostensive definition. You see, if you're a medical doctor, you want, or a pediatrician, let's start with pediatrician, and you want to show children how to brush their teeth, maybe even working in tandem with a dentist. Go and get an old ragged teeth, if there's any word like that. Started one, whether you made it yourself or you found someone's own that you took out when they came to you, dentist outfit. Bring it to the classroom and lift it and show the children. Group by group, come and see, touch it. Some may not want to touch it. You see, if you don't brush it, this is how your teeth will be. It's meaningful than this plenty premolars and canines. And you know, if your canines are the premolars and the fluoride doesn't get to the the premolars and the canines are sitting on the madam. Oh, Kasado, get your teeth. You can even paint it with dark green color to show what will happen to them. And then tell everybody now, everyone, go get your brush. We're going to brush together. See what I said? Go get your brush. We are going to do it together. Then we tell the first child, put the paste. We all put it. Now, this is how you brush. What I am doing now is what? Demonstrating. I'm doing it for the child to see. It is still what? Ostensive. I'm doing it. I point to or do it. Then, third one on your screen, to make meaning, you can use operational definition, operation, the steps to follow to get to what? The unknown word. So you don't even have to be there, but you can give the steps. Mommy, this is your daughter who has migrated and gone to Abuchi. Amen to that. And is doing very fine. But today, they find a Ghanaian brother that took him there, came to pick her and take her and says, I will eat Ghana. Today, I want to enjoy Ghana. Do it for me. I'll be back. Sister is hot because she didn't learn how to do it. So mommy is in Ghana. That's called Ma, it's so beautiful. Mommy can be on phone and say, don't worry, go to the Africa market today. Buy cassava. See what I'm doing? I'm giving you the meaning of, but I'm doing it what? Operationally. Buy cassava, plantain. Come and peel it. Cut it into smaller chunks. Wash it nicely. Put it in a saucepan. Add water. Cover it. Let it boil till tender. Remove it from the fire. Pour out the water. Let it dry up a little. Are you listening to me? Yes, mommy. Yes. Let it dry up a little. Now, if you have more time to stir it, pound it. Make sure that you mix. There are no lumps. This is Kuliane. Stir it. If you don't have more time, blend it. Blend it. Make sure it's a good consistency. Once you stir, add water. What I'm doing now is making fufu meaningful. Giving the meaning of food, but I'm doing it operational. Show you how to get it. Now mold it into small dumplings. You have good soup there. Serve it with it. Have you done it the way I said? Yes, mommy. Move. Marriage will stay. Move. Exercise happy. Operational definition. That's it. But you see that mommy were there, it would be easier because she would have added ostensive. Whilst mommy was cooking it at home and she was with mommy, she was making her meals. So she didn't get a demonstration. It's any easy, especially if it's the first time. The man will come and eat lumps and soups. But if mommy wants it to be effective, then at the time that she was there, it could have been what? Ostensive plus operational. What do I mean? She will pound it herself and be showing her. You see, when it's like this, remove the lump, put it here, add this water. So I'm doing ostensive plus what? Operational. I'm mixing the two so that the person can catch the meaning. Easy. Are you a Montessori teacher? Are you a nurse? Are you a surgeon? Are you a midwife teaching others how to do midwifery? Are you a hairdresser? What's the other one? Fashion designer, an artist, seamstress. Mix the different ways of what? Giving meaning. So if it's a Montessori teacher, you are going to teach the child R for apple. By the time they come next week, they are all carrying apple from home. The doors are all painted or they have stickers of what? Apple on it. On their tables, everybody has one apple. We are all going to dance with an apple. Auntie can wear a dress that has apples on it. Apple, they'll keep seeing apples until it enters. Yes. That is how learning becomes effective. Because people are seeing, they are hearing instructions on how to get it. So then we come to the next very important type. You see how I'm giving you the definition. I could have just said straight to, but by now I finished. In the third unit you are done. But I'll ask you to apply. I'm done. But I want you to be able to apply. So I could ask a question like, if you were to give training to a midwife, a group of people practicing to be midwives, learning to be midwives, you were the boss. Explain or state which types of definitions you would use and why. Okay, that can be an exam question, maybe worth 2 marks or 3 marks, in not more than 5 sentences. Then you will now think and choose and show why. And so it is in your why you are choosing what that we will know that you understand the types of definition. It's not when I ask you what is the type of definition that's recall. You can do chocho and cha-cha and get it. But if you are applying it, then you just don't know, you are able to use it. So you go home and your child anytime say, don't take this, don't take this, take up. Let me show you something. This alcohol that you have drank, sir. So this one, the grown-up crowd there, you won't have that effect. But if you showed someone the liver, when people were misbehaving with the COVID, when it came earlier, people were saying, when we saw the pictures, okay, at least for me and some people, I said, what? Is this happening or is some fake thing? People saw the effect of supposed COVID deaths. Okay, if you saw the lung of someone who has drank alcohol, everything are telling them they don't listen. Or you saw, God forbid, the cancer and it spread on someone's chest, perhaps it might help communicate, what you want to put up. You see how this fire service folks and sometimes community health nurses do simulations to make a point. Teenage pregnancy, then you see them. Please do it. Don't think it is a cake. It is so effective. You see, you want to show people how to use the extinguisher in case there's an emergency. Don't talk plenty bluff. Not even the English. Don't make it too formal. Look, set up people, church or well, set it up and get fine brothers and sisters. Let them come and demonstrate it. So there's fire here. Or God forbid, an accident. Don't go dragging the people's neck. You will kill the person before they come out. So instead of picking plenty, we can do ostensive definition. So you can use those to make your points. Then we know that you got the meanings of definitions very well. You're a marketer, you're going to sell a product. Okay, so the thing I'm talking about that our own, it has something at the top. You can pull it, that's our cream. When you pull that one, it has something, it's different from that. You are talking, where is the product? Where is it? Show us and do it. Because when you tell me that you see the difference between our roll-on and these people's own is that you see, flip. You see how when you flips open, then you can pour it. Their own, because it's counterfeit or it's a make-believe. You don't have this. So they can pour all the good content out and refill it and give you junk. Our own, if you flip here, then you show it. If you flip here, you can't replace it. So we have to sell a new thing. You can trust our brand. I will be impressed, even if you are still deceiving me, by yours than the other one. Ostensive, operational, lexical. Now, stipulative definition is where you agree to use the word. Please look on my screen. Then as I explain, you get it. Where we agree to use a generally known word in our own way. The word has its meaning in everyday life, maybe lexically. But we go and pick that known word and then we use it to mean something. Like if I say, this guy, or a John. See, you got it.
Yeah.
If you are not a member or people who are associated with the word as I have just used it, you won't see what I meant.
Yes,
But
please.
for members or your jump, Commonwealth guys say we are going to charge. When they say they are going to charge, don't go and get your charger. I've said that, all my recordings on YouTube. They say they're going to charge. Yeah, you say, do you like Android charger or iPhone charger? They are talking about charging phone. They say they are going to demonstrate. So if you know that word, but as soon as you get it, me, I have 4 children to take care of. I'll log my office and OT log. No lecture.
Hello,
Yeah.
madam. Please,
Yes.
I can't see your screen though.
Please, how many of you can see lexical or ostensive operational?
Madam,
I
can see.
said,
I can see.
I think
Okay, so you can
Madam,
see me.
I can
Yes.
see.
If you can see me,
Yes, so
how
far.
many
I can
papers?
see you.
yes, madam,
So big boss, don't worry.
we
Yes, just
can
touch
see.
it.
So
Don't
check
worry,
your
just
screen.
We
just
can
check your
see.
data connection. Don't worry, he can see. So please,
Then we can see.
your parents fidget a bit with the screen of your phone. It will
No, you
come.
can see.
He
Madam,
can
not
see.
all offense.
Uh-huh.
I just rejoined again and I can't see anything.
Don't worry, people can see. Don't worry, it's
Then
recorded.
rejoin again. We can see.
Don't worry. Okay, it's okay. Please be patient with the gentleman. That's why I don't like muting at all because this one wouldn't affect. So say, don't worry. I will stop sharing and reshare. Maybe that will make it come. Okay. So let me stop.
Okay,
I'll share the
madam.
same thing again and let's continue. I just want you to have several ways of presenting the types of definition that is on that one slide like that. If you don't know, you will think that one slide back in. Yes, it is heavy. It is what you make of the slide that I'm trying to help you see. Boss, I think you should be able to see now, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So
Thank you,
I'll mute
madam.
let me mute or let me wrap up nicely on the definitions one. Then I'll take your questions and hopefully we can start in a tray at least. You know equivocation already. The others are not difficult. Then wherever we get to, we pause. I don't like rushing students at all. Can I say anyone? I want you to understand. If we finish and it's 3 units, we're able to do. We'll examine ourselves on 3 units, and we always finish. And even there's some time left, because when you understand, it's easier to build on it than when we rush through and go. Then we but look at them. There's nothing inside. If I speak a language you don't understand, don't worry. People who don't understand it, they are just to make it look like class is going on. I tell you, they are managing small. Okay, so we all manage. Don't worry. I just wanted. All right. I was on that slide, and I'm saying that stipulative. We stipulate, we agree to use the language that way. We don't intentionally, people sometimes sit and say, let's agree. But before long, like if I say, oh, a guy, hey, it's your watch is guy. That's a new terminology.
Okay.
Yes. Sir. If gentleman girls people say osmo they check or osmosis, I understand. In fact, visitors will be there. You come and say, oh, Charlie, I'm going to sleep. Would I say, oh, why? I say, I'm going to the lab. They say, what, osmosis? And I say, we have osmosis. I understand. Osmo they check. She'll tap her shoulder and say, osmo they check. So later.
Please mute
Yes. Thank you. You see, my name mute it so the others can hear me. But the point is, it is not everybody that will hear. So if I told the class rep that when we have the lecture and I ask for water, I mean repetition. So when we are teaching, and then I'll come to class. I just muted Emilia. Emilia, I've disabled your mic and you can't unmute it. So when you want to talk, I'll help you out. The point is, it is disturbing others. It's very, very distressing. Okay. Now, when you ask me, Doc, should I get you your water? Then I'll say, yes, go and get it. The whole class thinks that the rep is going to get water as we know it in the lexicon. An odorless, colorless liquid that forms the crust of blah, blah, blah. You know it. Sister has gone to bring so-called water because that is what everybody knows water to be. But as I'm teaching, I'm sipping. as I'm teaching. I'm saying,
Please, I don't see slides again.
I'll be drunk because
Please, Doctor, I cannot see the slides
because
again.
between the class rep and the lecturer, we had a stipulative definition of water. I haven't changed the slides, so be at peace and listen. So you can have everybody thinking that a very fine example a student of main campus gave, I think last Wednesday or so. He said, "Oh, Doc, what you are saying, I can associate with it. I have two sisters, an elder one and a younger one. And we're at home. The younger one, big sister, was going to shop at the market. He said, oh, when you are coming, please get me biscuit." And then the big sister said, okay, I'll get it. Yeah, he too, he doesn't know. He said, me too, get me biscuit. And they laughed at him. Best sisters, you understand? So you are going to the place, you are going to eat biscuit. Do you know what biscuit is? For this sister. She was asking, but you know, I don't want to explain it for the guy. That's what she was asking for. She doesn't, it is shrouded for the members only.
Madam, please, you don't know.
Other two said, me too, I want biscuit. What are you going to do with biscuit, Brian?
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
Madam, please, we don't know. Explain.
Getting that sisters,
If you don't know, then it's okay.
that time of the month. You understand?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll disable everyone. I want us to chat. That's why I'm not disabled the mic. I want us to chat. I don't let you come to me so that you will get the information you need. Maybe I'm not writing an exam. This one I did this over 23 years ago. What you are doing. But you two get it. You two have done plenty things that me have not even seen. So that is not even. I'm just encouraging you to look out for yourself because you're going to write an exam. Now listen up. The brother said me to buy some for me. When they bring him what it is that is called biscuit that they are talking about, what will he use it for? Unless you go and dash it to his girlfriend. The point then is when you go and someone says, Charlie, give me a turkey. I want one turkey. Well, my turkey has risen. You know, turkey can be the meat turkey, it can be the nation turkey. And those who are, excuse me to say, junkies too, they know when they say their turkey has risen.
Yes,
so,
John.
It will be a steady jargons. That's all I'm trying to show you. Jargons that are not backed by institutional or academic disciplines. You see, it's not official. But the people who use it know. Poncho, that is stipulated. Okay. But the biscuit one really captures the point because biscuit has a meaning generally that everybody knows. But people are using a word that is known, but in their own way. Water, which we know what it is, but someone can say, people say, oh, can you check if the gate is closed? And he's speaking to his son at home with a visitor there. He said, Kofi, she said, gate near Tuma, check if the gate is closed. What it means between the mother and the son is, go and see if there is enough in the fridge so I can serve this guest because she has stayed for too long. She has to eat proper food, not drink. So check if the gate is closed now. It means go and open the fridge and see if there is enough. So it helps. You see, yes, it is wise ways of speaking. Sometimes someone will be sitting down, perhaps in a public function, and sisters, apologies, that the leg is opened ajar, not properly trained. So you will see that another person will be passing and say, clean your nose. Then she will go. It means close the estate door that you have opened like that. But people like, yes, close your store. Thank you, my brother. This is the reason I have not disabled your mic. I want to hear you.
Madam.
Yes, my brother.
Please,
So
Madam,
instead
please,
of
I have
coming,
experience,
I'll let you chat talking. I'll finish. Don't worry, I'll give people the time to chat.
I remember every time our master comes to the class and do sit in
Muting. Oh, sorry. I think I've muted you mistakenly. You're mute and give us your scenario. It's important for the discussion.
I said, I remember when I was in SS, later our master teacher comes to the class. And then, the ladies, they sit at the front. So when they open their legs, they'll say, close your nose. Then everybody understands. Then, it's like it becomes a code between us.
Exactly. It is fine. So if someone else comes, it will not be too embarrassing. But there are people who is clean your nose. They are looking at you. There's nothing on my nose, man. Close your store. They say I don't have a store. This is okay. Woman provider. Then that one here. Stipulative definitions are for that. And I'm glad that you can grab it easily. It helps you. You can use them if you are debating with others, like if you are discussing, and there are various ways of looking at that one word. You can say, look, let's take it that by gender, I mean this, or let's take it that by democracy, I mean this. Let's agree that this is what we mean by democracy, and then let's use that to argue. So any other version of democracy may be there, but it will not interfere with how we are working. If you're writing your thesis or your longest, you're doing some project or something, 10 papers, and it is on a subject matter. One of the good ways to avoid any critique when you face a, super, oh, it's doing cool like that. I beg you and keep your thing muted. I'll find you and disable your mic. With Vim, I'll disable it. Just say that in this paper, when I say so and so and so and so, I mean so and so and so and so. So that one will be the stipulative meaning you are giving in your paper for that topic. That's all. Then you start writing. So if someone can, but democracy could be more than, you say yes, but I give you a stipulative meaning of the sense of democracy I'm using, so that you can follow me along that line. You are safe. Now, the next one after stipulative meaning on your screen is what? Offended. Theoretical definition. That is like stipulative definition, except for theoretical definition, it is an academic discipline.
Madam, I'm not seeing your screen.
That you need to. It is our share, don't worry. It is there, our share. It is an academic discipline that you need to know before you can understand the definition. You have to know a whole academic discipline before you can understand that definition. For example, if I said water is H2O. Water is H2O. We all know that. Water is H2O. It means water is an... Hey, auntie. What's the name? What's I appreciate now. I think you can see. Now, when I say water is H2O, it means if you want, water is what? 2 molecules of hydrogen, a molecule of oxygen mixed together at room temperature. You haven't put it in the fridge. If you put it in the fridge, it will become ice blocks. If you boil it on fire, it will be what? Vapor. So that, yes, it has to be at room temperature. Hey, I want water to stay in my banku. Give me water. Instead of saying, give me water, I say, yeah, give me H2O. You are calling to bring you H2O to stay your banku. Your banku will burn to ash. Because is not a chemistry, madam. That meaning of water can apply in the lab when you are trying to test for something, maybe the COVID things, and you want some water to mix with some reagent or something to find something else. So you have to speak technically so that she knows the exact technical composition you have. NaCl, that's salt. Okay, so you can call for that. If it is a technical setting, a theory-based setting, speak that, but not when you are stirring banku and you need water. The thing is burning. You want water to mix it. Then that is where, because you are apologies to my chemistry colleagues there, because you are a chemistry professor, so you want to apply chemistry with your house help. Who is not educated can do her own fashion, can sew and things, but she's not a professor in chemistry. She's not a school person. Is that the place to show that you know chemistry? By telling the person that get me H2O quickly. The banku will burn. At that place, the appropriate definition to use is to point to water. Point to the cup of water there. Say, give me that. Mommy, what? The water. That will be meaningful quickly, and she will act. That when you go and say, give me H2O. So what am I saying? There is a place to call for a specific type of definition all the time. You cannot use all the different meanings of a word. You cannot define using either lexical or operational or stipulative without discretion. You have to look at your audience. So where then can we use theoretical definitions? In many cases, but a typical example would be, say, if IMF people call our minister to come and talk economy and borrowing of money. He cannot go and do, this and be doing ostensible. No, he has to talk expert language. He has to show that he knows his stuff. He has to talk inflation, GDP. You and I, who are not experts there, are not expected to understand. Don't try to understand something you don't know. Amicus curiae. You are sitting at the law court and talking amicus curiae, and you say, why are they saying all these things? We have come to court. They have to say that we're here. Do you think they came there for you?
No.
Huh? The council says, my lord, then my husband says, my lord, council is committing petition principle. You say, then it's where then court to someone can't. Who told you that they came to talk for you to hear? Huh? It's not for you to hear. It's theory. Objection, my lord. Council is committing ad hominem. It's logistic. We cannot continue this. That is ad misericordiam, my lord. You see, what is that? Why are they doing that? That if you want to go and learn law, you understand. Amicus curiae is for them. I don't hear and watch Messi square go. When they finish, say what's happened, then they will explain. It is technical. That is where you have to show your technicality. You are going to apply for a grant, an interview or something to win money for a project. You have to show your stuff. That is where you have to talk the technical language. Because the persons won't give you money if you are not able to talk for them to see if you know the thing. It's technical. I don't know if you understand. So if it is COVID-19, grant that we are looking for, whatever, the people who are doing it will talk technical and in their proposal. They will tell you that the
Please, is it my network or I cannot hear? I cannot hear at all.
Oh, sorry, I'm shouting password. Am I audible? Can someone hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
The man will even regret asking the question. Hey, don't worry, sir. We are recording, so you will have the recording there. Then, if it is just that place you want to listen, you can always play back. And then get just that part, and then if you like, can discard and record. So I'm saying that if it is COVID-19, grant that you are looking for, that is where the theoretical meanings of terms will be at play in the proposal. But when the nurses or what have you are coming to give education to you and I, who are not please keep your thing muted there. The feedback is so uncomfortable. But I want you to be able to ask me questions. When I mute, then the person unmutes. I have muted. Keep it like that. This one is the one you can unmute. So that if there's an emergency, you can tell me. So keep it like this. But if I disable, you can't unmute. But I don't want to do that. You're not chilled, I beg you. Okay, all right. But if the nurse is supposed to come and give us, just a minute, I'll take all the questions, I'm wrapping up. If the nurse is coming to give us public education on COVID-19, we the people, listen, the word is public. So there are people who can read. There are people who can read, but they don't have the time to. There are people who don't like science and everything related to it because of the science teacher they had. If you start talking H2SO4, then your heart pressure is going up. You have to understand, you have varied audience, public. So you have to have a presentation that to a large extent benefits a majority of people, even if not all. That is what you should have in mind. So you can't come talking theories throughout. The inflation of the GDP has reduced into the inflation of this logistic, there's plenty. When we finish, our question is, how much will the fuel cost? Asa. After all this year, I say, will the fuel, which is perhaps now is 300 cedis a gallon, I'm just going off cry, it can't be that. Will it become 50 cedis? That, because of all I've said and the growth and this economic GMPC and QRST, now what you buy at 300, you now rather buy it at 500 cedis. I said, I don't like it. I want the old one. That's what I will understand. So you come and present the content in a way that the people will understand. So COVID-19, I can stipulate a word for it so that the audience can follow me and understand what COVID-19 is. But when I'm writing a proposal, I'll use theoretical definition so that the people, experts, will know that I know what I'm about. If they brought their resources, they will not go waste. But if I'm talking to the people, I can say, oh, take COVID-19 to be like Qatar. Think of Qatar. It is a bit to say Qatar. It's a more ona Qatar. The people can now associate with Qatar. Because that is the one that is common. They say, except that, unlike Qatar, this thing you're talking about, you let's call it Bege. Then so you are not bothering them with the complex COVID-19. The name itself is complex. So the COVID-19 is supposed to be the summarized version that we can access easily. Even that one, when they went around first time and it came to the country, how people called it. Okay. So now you know lexical, stipulative, ostensive, operational. What about and theoretical? What about real definition? That should tell you that all the ones we have seen so far are not real. Hey, yeah.
Please, madam, could you
yes,
please come back with the lexical, please?
Dictionary. When I tell you look for the meaning of the word in the dictionary, I've just given you a lexical meaning. What you read in the dictionary for as the meaning of the word is the lexical meaning. That's all.
Okay.
Normally, it is the one that is generally accepted. Yes, that is captured into the dictionary. Okay. Doomsor is stipulated, but you realize that there can be overlaps. If you are looking on my screen, you will see there are overlaps in types of definitions. Because if doomsor is stipulatively used here, before long, it can be captured into a dictionary. Then it becomes a lexical definition. Okay. So if you got that, then there is the real definition. Then we are ending. Real definition, because that is the type of definition that's what definition should actually do. Lexical, ostensive, operational, and so on are not doing everything that definition should do. I told you that if you showed your child your cup, which is yellow, to help him understand yellow, the weakness is your child will now think that it is only mommy's cup that is yellow. That is what your child will think. If you ask him color yellow, he will think, oh, color yellow, dear. And no, color yellow, dear. It is just like my mother's cup. So it is a weakness because many other things are yellow. So stipulative definitions restrict, addresses stipulative, no. Ostensive, where you point to show the child. It's a good way of helping the child to move, have contact with the word. But he has to build on it. So that tells you that every definition there has a weakness. Look at lexical definitions. When you look into the dictionary, you have about 3 or 4 versions of the meaning of chair. Which one is the meaning of chair? Okay, so all of them do not really do what definition should do fully. In other words, they have weakness. So when a definition is a real one, look at the names there. Ideal, eliminative, essential. They all represent the same type of definition. If a definition is like that, then it means wherever you see the definiendum, you can replace it with the definiens. There will be no contradiction. There will be no issue at all. Wherever. I didn't say only once. Now, can we do that with the definition? A bachelor is an unmarried adult male. No, we can't. We have learned why. Because certain times when I use the word a bachelor, it represents an unmarried adult male. But at other times, it represents something else, and something else, and something else. We saw the example with chair. So it isn't every time that we call the word chair that it will represent the furniture we sit on. Let the chair come in. We are ready to take off. Am I saying let the thing we sit on come in? It didn't mean that. So definitions are only real when the definiendum can replace the definiens in all contexts of issues. They are ideal, meaning they are not common. Ideal guys are not common on earth. I've told ladies when we do mentoring, I tell you, look, they're looking for the ideal guy, ideal guy. When we speak, sometimes we say, ideally, this is not how a banking hall should be. Well, thank God you said ideally. Ideally, dear. And no animal milk. Say I've muted, you can't talk. I've muted, I'm the only one laughing. Ideal means it is not common. You see. So that real definition we have just defined, you don't have them all over the place like that. They are hard to find. Another way of describing that same definition, it is eliminative. It means you can substitute, like I told you, the definiendum with the definiens without any trouble. Wherever you see this one, it means that in every context of its use in the discipline. And it is essential. Essential means it captures its actual essence. If you have done a little philosophy, which I teach, philosophy, Plato's essentialism, the thing's actual nature, not its representation, but the actuality of it, which is non-physical. So we are striving at what? Arriving at the real meanings of terms, the essential meanings of terms. As I've already told you, because they are not common, we find them only in restricted disciplines like physics, typically mathematics, really, but also where some aspects of physics, logic. Just say in the deductive studies, that is where we find them, okay? Now, on your screen now, it's just a follow-up, so I'm adding that, then we can end the unit 2 nice. It's from real definitions, okay? Why do we say that certain definitions are not real? From the top all the way until we got to real, all the definitions up there are not real. They are full of flaws. Why? Because those terms that we are defining, bachelor, chair, table, look on my screen, justice, democracy, fidelity, family. We can go on and on and on. Almost every word we are using has different meanings. They are open class concepts. Look on my screen, please, respectfully. Open textured terms. Their essence is contestable. You can contest what that word essentially means. You can argue and say family is not necessarily blood relation. Because on your because certain friends are more brotherly. Is there any expression like that? They are more like a brother than even a biological, so to speak, brother or sister. So for somebody, when you say, oh, a brother is a brother, what are they say, yes, blood is thicker than water, yes, but there are friends. There is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That's Bible quotation. Jonathan and David. Therefore, people can have their own connotations of family, justice. There is a certain system that thinks what is just is an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You take somebody something, we cut off your hand. You take another one, we cut off the other hand. You want to come again? I'm sure you won't come, because how you will come is the problem. So that system, that is justice. For another place, you say justice is give the person his due. So if you stole mango, you come and take your mango back, and so on. That is why our justice system keeps being changed and revised and improved, so to speak, quoted unquote, because we are dealing with a term that is open texture. It can be argued, we can contest around it until we improve it and get it closer and closer to the essential meaning of it. Brothers and sisters, it doesn't have a fixed meaning. It is not mathematics. It's not 2 + 3 = what? We are looking for 5. The issue we are dealing with, I'm going to the third example there, is fidelity. Who is defining it? Because in one group, you have a husband and a wife, 1-1. If the brother goes to get a flower, in addition, they say, or garden in addition to the forest, they say, oh, he's infidel. In another setting, still religion, the person marries 5. They say he's a good man. It is not a sign of infidelity. So who is defining fidelity and infidelity? You see what happened with value judgment? That's what is going on here. Democracy. Some think it's talk, make I talk. Others think it is a parliamentary democracy. Some say it is not parliamentary, should be, what's the other word for it? Constitutional democracy. Some do a little monarchy mixed with something. You know all that. Look at Britain, look at US. Different ways of practicing democracy, and we call all of them democracy. Why? Because the term is an open class concept. And people will have varied ways of looking at that concept. And so it is essentially contestable. I can ask you in the exam with 3 examples, explain the notion of what essentially contestable terms and how relevant it is in the humanities. This is critical thinking, and it's not difficult. You just have to pick any like chair, table, but use concept that development. What does it mean to say one nation is developed? They have high-rise buildings, but the men and the women are mixed up. You don't know who is who. Grandma is coming and carrying load. Everybody will bypass her and go. Some nation that doesn't have high-rise buildings will help grandma get up and let grandma sit. They will remove their cap when they are talking to your father. They won't tell father nonsense. You are talking nonsense. What? Excuse my French. What the shit are you saying? And they think it's fine. It is not done in certain contexts. Why is it that that doesn't constitute development? Who is defining it? The term is essentially contestable. It's an open class term. Okay. But look on my screen now, and then we wrap up. We're almost done. Look on my screen now. If the term is not open textured, like the ones we've just defined, from ideal definition, you see where we are going to. We can have other terms that are what? Well defined. The ones I told you about, they are in the deductive studies, like mathematics, like logic. What you do in unit 6, if P then Q, P therefore Q. 2 plus 3 equals 5. You can't go to the market and 2 cedis plus 3 cedis. You say it's equal to 1 cedi, okay? Then you want to give the woman 1 cedi for things that you have bought worth 3 cedis. And when she says it, you say, oh, it's correct. You have to school that means you have not been to school. Madam, Massa, I don't know how to write 1 plus 3, but I understand it. Okay, it is the substance, the structure of thought, how we think. It's deductive. Who you give through? You take one from the other. It's not about whether you have seen it or not. I take one out of the other and I'm able to tell. So I may not see, visually impaired, I may not see, but if you told me that I got 1 cedi earlier and someone has added 2 cedis, I am expecting 3 cedis. Don't tell me that you can't see. How can 1 plus 2 plus 3 be 6, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3, it's not 6. Then I say, but I say 1 plus 2 plus 3, that should be 6. So you give me 6 cedis. Then no, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 4 cedis. You can't see, I can see. I don't have to see, I'm blind, but I understand. It's a concept. So it's not seen, it is what? Thought. It is the thought pattern. So the deductive studies have closed concepts. You can't have your own version. You can't come and argue over 2 kilograms of rice, whether it came from Ghana or Zaire or wherever. We measure it, the standards are the same. The shapes, geometry. You can't have your own shape of triangle and say that you think, then don't do mathematics or geometry. But you can have your own connotation or understanding of family, even in sociology. You can have your own and argue to show it. My brothers and sisters, that's what our ex-president kept addressing, how he addressed the nation. But he's older than most of us. He could be a fatherly figure. But he called us brothers and sisters. When we go to church, we say brothers and sisters. It's a certain sense of family or brother and sister we are using. And that holds. Just as the other versions of family, if you like, do graduation here. There are certain villages, the whole paramount chief and his many wives and the village or whatever, Ahenkwa and everyone comes to graduate their one son. So the son is the son of the village. It's a relative. The whole village, they are coming to do graduation. Maybe you got a class, palanquins and all. Why would we sit? But the people, they are plenty. Why? Their son is graduating. I want you to understand the connotation of family that they will be working with. You see that? But when you come to maths, some aspects of physics, I said, logic, they are deductive in nature. So you cannot have your own meaning of 2 plus 3. Plus means plus. Square root means square root. Minus means minus, and so on. So what? So we describe terms within such a discipline as what? Closed concept. So even number is a closed concept. You can't have your meaning of even number in mathematics, no. But you can have your meaning of justice in the legal system, the justice system of Ghana. Hey, some places, if you jump the traffic, right, you're in trouble. Go and we at a junction and you see. see their legal system and what is just and what is unjust. But here we know. God bless us all for that. So that is well defined. Open textured and well defined. That's what I showed you moments ago. Now, if you define, this is the last slide. After this, we enter into unit 3. So it turns out I won't be able to go
Madam,
into
please, I can't see your screen.
Oh, right. I can't see the TTM. I said, don't keep your screen docile for too long. Otherwise, you won't see. Keep touching it. I'm resharing the same thing. I didn't stop sharing. Okay, keep it there. I have to close now, Kra. Now, I'm saying that this is the last slide. These are just practice questions and then unit 3. So it happens that we won't be able to perhaps start unit 3.
Yeah, Madam, you put me on hold.
Now,
Madam,
me, I'm closing. If you talk plenty, I'll close. I beg you. It's my time now. Look on my screen. Let me finish with this. I put you on hold,
I can't reach up. Yes, I can't reach up my hand.
Maybe we're talking too much. But how is it that you have not put on hold? Don't worry. Let's finish. So on the screen, let's finish with this, please. I want to end. Whenever you define a word, we have seen the parts, we have seen the aspects, we have seen the types, we have seen what the types lead us to. When we have an ideal or real definition, it shows us that certain words are open textured and some are closed. Earlier on, we saw how if you don't take note of the different connotations of a word and how it can be used, it can generate an equivocation. That's what we've done so far. Very, very heavy topics, but I believe they have been delivered in accessible mode. Your duty will be to go and engage it. If you don't engage, you will be amazed. You will remember anything that I said. And it is not the devil. So you have to engage it. If you are cooking and the earphone is on, then you are doing the on your car, but you are listening to connotation. You are driving, it's on. Excuse me, you are in the washroom in the morning. That 20 minutes you spend sitting on the thing, you will be playing it. Oh, that's how you do it. Don't think that, hey, me pet time, I'm looking for time, I'll go and sit and learn. That's not how to learn Kechkati. It will to stress you if you do that. But if you make it practical, you are using it, connotation, denotation, valid judgment, whatever, equivocation, you will pick it and hopefully do very well and get your straight A and go. All right. So the problems with definition is when you define, and I'll do that in about 2 minutes. When you define, there can be something wrong with how you are defining, how you are giving meaning. So suppose you define, your definiendum is what you don't know, and the definiens is what you know. I said that earlier. So you are using what you know, definiens, to understand what you don't know. So a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, our example. I'm saying if you don't know bachelor, look at an unmarried adult male. Correct. A bird is a flying creature. I'm saying if you don't know a bird, look at a flying creature, and so on. So now suppose I said a dog is a four-legged animal. What I mean is if you don't know a dog, look at an animal that has 4 legs. Now the problem with that, you are teaching a child who doesn't know a dog. If you taught the child this way, what problem would the child have? Please, because of time, let me just tell you. Normally, I'll let us discuss and go back and forth. What problem would the child have? A dog is a 4-legged animal. When the child sees a goat passing, the child will call it a dog. And it was your fault, not the child's fault. Because of how you define dog to him. Elephants now will be dog because they are all 4-legged. Monkeys. No, monkeys, I don't know very well. So what? So that definition will be too broad. Why? Because it included certain, I'm using technical terms now, that's I'm slowing down. Watch. The definition included certain denotations that should not be there. You remember connotation, denotation, that's what I'm doing now. So I'm saying that if you don't know a dog, look at what? A 4-legged animal. By this definition, I would have included some denotations that should not be in the extension of what? Dog. That is what makes it broad. Very good. Now, what about if I said evil is murder? Evil, Bonnie. If you don't know evil, look at murder. That is what my definition means. I'm on example 2 now. The meaning of evil is murder. if I said that, I'm telling you that if you don't know what is evil, look at a murder. That is evil. What have I done? I've left out so many other things that are what? Evil. By the way, I'm defining the word evil. Remember, evil is the definition. That is what you don't know. So don't say that, oh, no, but there are other things that are evil. No, we don't know evil. So you are helping us to know evil. And you say, oh, if you don't know what evil is, look at murder. Murder is evil. Now, if you tell me that gossip, taking someone's wife or husband, bearing false witness, all of them, even cheating in exam, which is very evil, will be left out. So it is narrow. The definition is narrow. You have narrowed it, meaning you have excluded legitimate members. That's the definition that is narrow. Then secularity is the one I love. You are only repeating yourself in the definition. Okay, you don't have an answer to the question. Watch how you name it. Look at number 3. Secularity, secular. So you beg the question. You are begging the question. Please keep quiet and listen, please. It's a tautology. Tautology. What you people call tautology? It means repetition of the unknown word, which is the definition, in the definition. Okay, you beg the question. You are going secular. When you look at it in fallacies in Unit 10, it has a Latin expression, petitio principle, repeating yourself. Okay, and we'll deal with that later. So that is where you say, for example, lady, efficiency is being efficient at what you do in this office, please. As headmistress of a boss time. No, you have to be efficient. So, mommy, please, I'm doing my best at it. What do you mean when you say efficient, please? Because I think I'm doing my best. I'm telling you that efficiency is being efficient at what you do in this office. You are the step. You didn't teach the girl anything. You just repeated yourself. Efficiency is being efficient. That is tautologos. Development is to develop the nation. That is tautologos. Remember slide number 1, lecture 1. I showed you some slides and I said pause to think with the red ink when we started the lecture. You need 1 slide. You can check it. There's one there that says morality is being moral at what you do or something like that. It was also what? Tautologos, or begs the question, or it was a secular definition. All of them apply. Then the last one is what? Vague definition. Remember, broad, narrow, secular, and vague are not something to be happy about. They are problems, thicknesses with what? Definitions. So vague is where you do not specify. You are overly general about how you are defining the word, that it becomes empty. Okay? Overly general, that it doesn't have content any longer. If I say, what is democracy? And you tell me democracy is freedom for all. That is vague. That is indeterminate. It is not specific. Freedom, you see what we did with freedom, so you know already. Which kind of freedom do you have in mind? Freedom as in people can just move anywhere and jam the traffic and wear whatever they like and talk whatever they want to talk. It can't be that. So what do you mean? It's vague. You have to clarify. If you want to define definition, make meaning to the audience, defining democracy as freedom for all will not wash. Now, freedom for all what? All what? I said the prisoners don't have the freedom to determine when they want to come out and jump a little or go and drink a little something at so and so. Go and eat some watches somewhere and come back. They don't have that freedom. So the freedom for all rich people. Students should feel free to work in the lecture exam hall. After all, Ghana is a democracy. When exam is ongoing, freedom for all. So for all rich people or animals who are in the all. See how vague it is? It's indeterminate, it's not specific. So it's that kind of definition we'll call vague. And oftentimes when you use language figuratively, that is when you commit vague fallacies or vague definitions. And on that note, brothers and sisters in the Lord, I'm so done. Thank you very much. Now I want to take questions. If there are any, add it to our recording and then we can pull it down for your benefit. Let me take Mercy Tiswin first. I'll take 3 questions and then I'll respond to them. I'm in the office so I can write down And then I take another 3. Please, let's make it very snappy so that I can go home to my precious family. Let's go ahead.
Hello, madam.
Go ahead.
Please, please, do you have recommended a book that you can buy or
A textbook is
the
finished
slides?
unnecessarily. And unfortunately, the slides are in the resource tool. If you don't know how to access the resource tool, please play the first video on the side. Well, that is a problem. We have to know how to access the site. Do you know how to navigate Sakai?
Yes, please. I followed you.
Yes,
I
it's
followed
fine. So please go to the resource tool and find the slides. The slides are the resource tool. Look for them. There are quite a number of them. I checked yesterday and I understood why maybe people are struggling. There's one coming from Mr. Yusuf something. They are just administrators on the side helping. Okay, so look for my name. My name is Doctor. I put my name there. Dr. Nancy Miles Jim. So the one coming from Nancy, the slides coming from Nancy are yours. Look through them and find the resource numbered lecture 1. That will be for lecture 1. One numbered lecture 2. So on. Then you pull out all those slides and engage them. Thank you. Let's take
this on YouTube.
The YouTube one, if it's this one, I'll put it at YouTube and generate the link. So if you want to watch, you just pull it and go there. But your for it to be easier for if you are looking for your links, that I'm the one for this course, then you pick the link from Sakai and go there. The point is, Sakai can hold all the, you see the number of videos that those of you have gone to my site, the Dr. Nancy Miles, Jim site. You see, I have so many recordings. But look at this semester. We have so many sessions. So you can put all the heavy recording itself there. But the links that will take you there are all on Sakai. You pull it from your Sakai site for your specific one. If you're on the site, then you can enter into the main campus and previous year's discussions on the same topic and just get yourself improved. Okay, so we can work that way. Thank you. Let's take K for info.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. K4, please go ahead.
Yeah, Doc, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Please, yeah. Please, I want
very fast file. If you are slow pay to go back because there are 32 hands up. I suppose some of them will go down when the questions come in. But you have to be very snappy. Otherwise, I'll end and ask everyone to send me an email. My email is on the first side. I won't reject. Okay, so please ask the question fast.
Hello, Doc.
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yeah. Please, I want you to hammer on the notation and connotation, the denotation and connotation. I want you to highlight or.
Is it something we discussed today, please? I didn't hear all of what it is in the recording. Then, if I generate it for you, you can just play it back. That way, you get exactly what was said. Okay, and I don't have to say the same thing again and lengthen your recording for you. Okay, unless it's something that wasn't touched on, so it looks like. But if it was touched on, then the recording will come. Then you can, if you don't want to play the whole recording, even if you don't want to play the whole recording, then you could have just forwarded it to the specific place and then you do that. Thank you, sir. Let's take Rejoice. Come here. Rejoice, come here. Yes, please unmute and ask your question.
Madam, please put me on hold.
Rejoice, come here. Oh dear. It's possible now. Please, someone said I put him on hold. I don't understand what that means. But who is it? If you can talk, go ahead and talk. If you can talk, that's the noise for which reason I keep muting. It's very, very uncomfortable. Go ahead.
My challenge is the denotation. And then I have some example here. The way I understand it, the bachelor is unmarried man. And in this case, I take it as is a bachelor and the notation is unmarried.
Who said
Or
that?
in
That's
other
not
words,
what I thought. That's not what I thought. So engage the content. Otherwise, you won't do well. It's not. I'm telling you, not sincerity. I've given a definition, so use that. I didn't say a bachelor is a denotation and unmarried man is a connotation. I didn't say that at all. Okay, so just wait. I'll put this recording, then you play it, and it will be fine. Okay. All right. Let's take another question. Atta.
Okay, madam.
Atta
This is
Abdul.
Brown.
Just a minute, please. Let's take Atta Abdul. I can't see the last name. Hakim. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, madam. Madam, my question is very, very quick. Madam, if I create abbreviations or use initials to bring understanding of a word, that is done by people as jargon.
Somebody's thing is so noisy. That's why we can't hear any other person. Atta. I think it's clearer now.
Madam,
yes,
I'm saying if I use initials or abbreviation to create maybe a word that has, or let's say a jargon that is understood by many, can I classify it? And if it is a definition, which classification can it fall under?
It's stipulative.
Okay, madam. Yes. Using the theoretical.
Theory has to be academical. It has to have official backing, like what happens at the law court. You see, if I say amicus curiae, it's not something I made up. It is in the in the law. Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's for specific people, so it can be called registers. English that
not necessarily specific people. You see, when I say water is H2O, water is not for specific people. That definition is not for specific, but it has academic backing. So maybe that is what you mean by specific. You have to know chemistry to understand that. You see, so it is institutionalized meanings of terms. So the definition will not be meaningful to you if you have not encountered that training, that content, which is what it has backing, like inflation. I can talk of inflation to mean that I come and inflate the balloons for the decoration. You see, that is not what the finance minister means when he says Ghana's inflation is technical. So the economist is speaking about something else. When the logician talks about argument, or the critical thinker talks about argument, when we say you like arguing, it is a positive quality. But outside there, used differently, when we say someone likes arguing, we want to mean he likes disputing. You know, he likes exchange of whatever. But in technical sense of it, that's why I showed you the projection on that. When we do unit 3, we'll engage it a bit more.
Madam, please,
it is positive. Yeah, so that is the difference, and it's very important, your question you asked. Thank you so much. Let's take Evelyn. I hope I pronounced your name well. Evelyn, ask your question very quickly, okay? My time is so up. Every day I do more than the time. I tell DE people to pay me extra 30 if they can. Oh, Evelyn. Okay, then let's take Michael.
Brown, Mr. Brown is here.
Please hold on. There are 23 hands. I beg you. I have to respect them. It's very quiet. Please be attending. Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Doc.
Yes, please.
Good evening, Doc.
Evening.
Yeah, please, Doc. Is there a relationship between a well-defined concept and real definition, as in the types of definition?
They are the same. If you define a word well, if a word is well-defined, it means that it makes clear what all of its particular denotations are. Forget about the technicalities I'm communicating. So a real definition will be well-defined. That is why well-defined terms are restrictive to specific disciplines, like didactic disciplines like physics, as I mentioned. Even physics is some aspect of it, not all. Like kilograms, the measurement, or if you like mathematics, where they deal with closed concept, or logic as well, but not all disciplines, okay? So it's only some few disciplines that have their terms closed. You can't have your own meanings of them. All the humanities, social sciences, what are dealing with open textured terms. And that is why the discourse is still ongoing in academia. We are still chatting and talking about it and writing papers Because what we are dealing with is not something that comes fixed. And can you see that? Yeah. That's the reason. Your answer is yes.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you too. Let's take Nora Oye Abiu. I do one lady, one guy. Hopefully we'll finish in no time. Nora.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so please, I want to take us back to equivocation.
Yes.
As far as I remember, I heard you in the presentation that you said when someone
Don't worry, what's the question? I know what I said, so I can easily help you with that. But if you ask me your question, my dear Nora, then I'll know. Oh, someone muted Nora. I hope I'm not the one. Oh. I haven't muted you, my lady. Please unmute and ask your question, Nora. Okay, someone else talking. Whilst we wait for Nora to come, I don't know what went wrong. Maybe she has to speak. So, Prince Lanyako, please ask your question. Oh dear. Raymond Jumper, if you have a question, please ask.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. My question is, in the course of your presentation, you made the third example that if you were to be someone who is going to train midwives, how would you
Which
definition
definitions will you apply? It's better to use several of them. So it's better because the people are learning whilst you are delivering a child. Of course, theoretical will come in, but it's not a key aspect of it at the time of practice. Yeah.
Yes. So my question, what I want to find out, in that circumstance, are you going to arrange it based on what you have shown us on the screen, or you are going to
No, some of them won't even matter. You may not even use some of them at all. Okay, so you have to use discretion. So let's say the lady is there, it's time to deliver a child. You can call one of them, come watch. You see, so the lady is lying there. Of course, somebody's child is in labor. That's not the time to waste and do whatever. But sometimes they even use human corpses for such things. So you have to apply some ostensive, some theoretical here and there, some operational. You give the instructions. So you have to talk. Tell them, then do for them to see. It's not enough to be telling, you could do it, and point to things and show. And that way, I think that it makes more meaning to the students and they become better, hopefully, than when it's all talk and talk about.
Madam.
Okay, so that is it. Sir, please, hold on, lady, hold on. Sir Jumper, please, are you done? Sir Raymond.
Yes, please, I'm done. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. You're welcome. My sister, please hold on. Unless it's urgent, let me work with the hands that are raised, okay? Unless it's very urgent, then unmute it.
Please, Nora is here. I think I have a problem with my screen.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I can hear you. If it's Nora, then go ahead. You had opportunity.
Okay. So please, I wanted to clarify something. That in a situation whereby someone uses different connotations of words in a context and clarifies it, then it's not equivocation.
It will not be equivocation, no. Because the words are there for us to use. But where the person doesn't clarify, and more importantly, he is using it as if, I've edited that on my other slide, as if they mean the same. You see, so that's why he's not even showing the change of meanings. Yes.
Okay. So what if the person is unintentionally using different connotations?
Because I said that sometimes you didn't intend to, like the one arguing with the freedom that we discussed. He doesn't intend to outsmart anyone. He thinks that what he's saying is the same notion of freedom throughout.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome, my lady. Let's take, I will take Alfred Adobli. I hope I mentioned the name. Alfred, go ahead. Very good. I think you're asking very intelligent questions. I'm even amazed.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Doc.
Good evening, sir. Ask for the doctor. I like it. Go ahead, don't mind me. Go ahead.
Okay, please, can we use the denotation to decode connotation in short?
I think so. But But the thing is,
Mm.
it is the meaning rather that helps us know what you are referring to. However, if you come and you point to the chair, then I will know that you are dealing with what chair as the furniture we sit on. So yes, you can. Please you understand. Like if you point to 2, 4, 6 and ask me which whatever integers are these, then I can say that these are even numbers. So yes, you can use the examples to get to
Okay.
the
Okay, please, and I put some example that I want you to take a look at it. And
please send me by email, I beg you. My fufu will go back.
all right.
Don't worry.
Thank
I
you.
responded to quite a number of them last dawn, about 90 something. When everybody was snoring, I was responding to your mail. Pray for me, eh? So send it. I will look at it. That way I'm able to tell no, the third one is not this. This one should have been this. You see that? So do it that way. Let's take you are most welcome. The email is Nancy Miles, UGRC150 @gmail.com. These people send it there. Don't write my miles well, I won't spell it for you again. If you write it wrong, it's not you, boy, not yourself, Alfred. I'm telling the whole class. People write MILES and it doesn't get to me. Say, Doc, I've sent a message. I know it's when I said to me, my address, wrong. Write 0244667 and see if it will get to the person. You miss one number, it won't get to the person. Okay, let's take Emilia. Please, if you are sorted, kindly lower your hand and let me address your colleagues, then we can end. Emilia. Go ahead.
Yeah, dog, please. I'm okay. I think someone asked
Very
the
good.
question and you've answered it, so I'm okay.
Excellent. That helps me. So kindly lower your hand for me. Let me take someone else quickly so that we can all go have a restful Sunday. I want to take Angel Adjoa Safwa. Angel, go ahead, please. Unmute and ask.
Yeah.
Angel Adjoa Safwa. Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Is it Angel? This is not Angelo. Angel Adjoa Safwa. Please unmute and ask your question. Angela Joy Safwa, if you are there. I see Elijah Bidikuru. I think you are trying to speak. Go ahead. Hey, Elijah, do you want to ask a question? Your microphone is unmuted. Okay. I thought you wanted to ask a question. All right. So let's take 2 more. No, there are 11 left. Let's see if I can mop up quickly. Obedenim, ask your question, please. Obed, please unmute and ask. Okay, I see 10 hands up. Maybe some of them are sorted. So,
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please, I wanted to ask if there is anything we can do to correct errors in definitions.
We are just pointing them out to you so that you don't commit them. If someone is speaking and the person tells you, ask me, Doc, please, what is critical thinking? I say, oh, see, critical thinking is when you are critical in the way you are thinking. You have to raise your hand and say, thank you, Doc, but I think that it didn't help me yet. I know that when you are critical about your thinking is what critical thinking obviously would be, but respectfully, please, I'm asking what that means. Then the lecturer will go and do their homework well. Or if it is church and they say, you see, you have to live a moral life. Then someone says, tell me, please, what is moral life? Then you say, oh, moral life is when you are living a life that is moral. You have to raise your hand and say, please, thank you, but I didn't get it. They haven't given me the meaning yet. When you are at interview and the DC or something who wants to get power says that I'm going to develop the nation. Then he said, development. Well, then, what do you think development is? And he said, oh, development is when you do developmental projects and you develop the nation. So that then tell you that, hold on, please, you are going too fast. You haven't explained what you mean by developmental project. Because I'm asking what it means to develop. That is what makes you a good anchor. You put people on their toes. You can use it everywhere. You see? So that is what it is for, said. So that either you yourself correct yourself or improve on how you are making meaning, especially with a specific audience in mind. Or you correct it where you see that certain meaning didn't go. So that's what the diagnosis are for. I hope that helps. Let's take Kingsford upon. You're welcome. Let's take Kingsford quickly, Pa. My husband is here. Answer. Next week, I don't get permission. Yeah. Kingsford, go on.
Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, sir. A salute. Go ahead.
Please, when you explain notation and the notation, and I would like you to. And I said that you all do the context of the situation. Is that right?
The content of what, sir?
Situation in the
Yes,
what you are
yes.
talking about.
Yes.
Okay. I'm okay. Thank you.
You are welcome, sir. You're welcome. Let's take Beta Baga. Oh, I hope Beta hasn't waited for too long. Beta, forgive me. Okay, if you have waited for too long. Go ahead. Just unmute and ask. I like ladies who are patient. If Beta is better,
Hello?
just unmute. Go ahead, my lady, please.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome.
The connotation and denotation, sometimes they sound similar. So I wanted to find out whether I can say that denotation specifies or clarifies the meaning of the connotation.
Okay, if you say it that way, we'll still have a little challenge. That's why we say it the way we say. So the connotation is just what the definition is, the criteria, the meaning of the word, what the word means.
Okay.
So if it is chair, it means the thing that we sit on. That's the meaning. That's the connotation, what it connotes, its meaning. We only know that the meanings can be different, okay? But the thing we sit on is its meaning. But when I say, pick that chair for me, I'm asking you to pick a denotation, pick the specific thing out of the general. So one is the definition, the criteria, and based on that criteria, you're able to point out a particular example that you are looking for. That's the difference. So one is denotation and the other is connotation. And I hope that helps.
Yeah, it helps. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you too. For the best. Let's take Bismarck. Oh, Bismarck, you've spoken. Those who have spoken, I'm lowering your hand. One brother, if I lower, then he raises it again. I want to read it. Okay, I have two more. I think that happened. Emmanuel Bedu. Is it Bedu? Yes, there I can go home. Emmanuel Bedu Penny. Okay, after that, I don't think I'll call anyone again. The IDs, I don't like calling, but okay, I think I have two more. Yes, sir, go ahead. I'm Wabenyajin, stand by. After you and Emmanuel Bedu and the ID person, I'm done. All other hands. I hope that.
Hello.
Sorry, sir, go ahead. I can hear you clearly now, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, he has clarified, but then is it so notation is maybe the answers to the connotations.
The particular examples that the connotation refers to. That is the denotation. Okay. That's all. So if I gave you even number is any number that we divide, we'll divide two equally without a remainder. That will be a connotation of even number I have given you. Now, if I ask you to show me what that denotes, you will mention the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 that we discussed together. Okay. So the connotation is the definition itself. And then the denotation is what the definition leads you to. A female sibling. A sister is a female sibling. That's a connotation of the word sister. Sister. It could also be the Roman sister, which is not necessarily a biological sibling. Okay. Two different connotations. Now, if I define sister as a female sibling, then if you ask me, Nancy, to give you denotations of what I call sister, I'll mention Sophia, Peggy, Josephine, Mercy. Okay. So I'm listing, what I'm listing are the denotations of my definition as what? A sister is a female sibling. Okay. Then the last one is Amabi. You're welcome. Amabi said, go ahead. Yours is the last one. Your baby last for the day. The ID person, I don't want to mention your ID. So Amabi, go ahead. Wait, sir Amabi, please speak. I can't hear you. Yes, sir. Hurry up, please.
Madam, please, Lexica, which is a type of your definition?
Yes.
Madam, please, if you want to ask a question about that one, how is it going to be?
Hey, Brian.
How is it
I will
going to
think
be?
about how I ask you a question.
Yeah, because that one is from a dictionary, and I don't know how the question is
Don't
going
worry,
to
that's
be.
why you are not the lecturer. Don't worry. You learn your own. You need to learn how I set my question. Hey, Brian, you papa. You think you can get a pop for me? Designer for you. Thank you all very much. Respect. Oh, my friend with the ID, if it is really beating you up, unmute and ask. But I don't want to mention your IDs online like that. Okay, so just unmute and ask if it is something that is bothering you that much. Because your hand has been up for a while. I just don't call it. You should keep your IDs this.
Please, madam.
Austin, I beg you. I beg you, pa. What's your question, Austina? Hey, I do. ID man, go on, go ahead.
It's
ID,
not.
ID first. Hey, who having coffee in here?
Doctor, good
I
evening.
drive over. I have a distance to cover. You. Okay, ID person, ask me your
Madam,
question. Let me
please,
take
it's not any question.
Well, when
Okay,
you
go
were
on.
dealing with the vague and the broad, you didn't touch on narrow.
Oh, I did. I did, pa. I said
Okay, then I
evil
didn't.
is no evil is, for example, murder. That was a narrow one. Do you remember
Oh,
now?
okay.
When I said if you don't know evil, look at murder. So I showed you that the person will leave out gossip, calling someone's husband, cheating in exam. If we define evil this way,
Okay.
all these ones will be left out. Yes, so that's the example I gave. Thank you so much.
All right.
Austin, I want to
Thank you
issue
very much.
too. You're welcome.
Madam,
84.
please, in fact, how you teach is very, very good.
Fatima is coming to give me fans. I love the fans.
Yeah,
Madam, me
I
too.
really
I
like
like
it.
Thank you so much.
But
The rest
madam,
of
I
you
wanted
have
to
allowed
know
other
if
people
we'll be
to.
having
I beg my
face-to-face
first
lectures.
time
I
in
wanted
this
to
No,
know.
please.
class, and
No,
I
please. I wish
enjoyed
we
it.
do. But our students are so many and the course is university wide. So we try our
God
best
bless
to
you,
give you
guys. Okay.
amen. God bless
Thank
you.
you, dog, and good appetite.
Okay, then we are okay with
And
this.
thank you for your
Your
patience
talking
and
is like
everything.
Hausa Kuku. It's very
God
cool
bless
like
you,
Hausa
everyone.
Kuku.
Dog, good appetite. I love
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you
God
for your
bless
appetite.
you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
like, dog, good appetite.
Madam, we love you so